Racing simulation is very important in today's motorsports world.
And of course, you do have several options.
When we created Dinner with Racers, the entire goal was to let the fans really know what the motorsports world is all about. And that's why we've created eRacing.
eRacing is the most realistic simulation game I've ever seen in my life.
It's the most realistic simulator I've ever done in racing.
eRacing is the only one that really comes close to the real experience.
To get started, the first thing we'll do is help you build the profile to truly feel like a pro.
To do this, we need your name, a major credit card, and of course to know what part of Brazil you're from. Now if you're worried about how much this is going to cost, don't worry. We have several payment plans.
If you feel the upfront costs are too high, we can actually just hide it in an overcharged damage bill later. Or if you prefer, we can share costs and we'll split the bill with a co-driver. We just won't tell you how bad they are.
Still not what you're looking for? Don't worry. We have the test driver plan. You don't actually get to race, but you get to take a lot of cool photos and your Instagram fans are gonna love it. As a driver, I wanted to make sure that eRacing provided a completely immersive simulation. There are plenty of other simulators out there that'll talk about their tire model or their physics, but is that really the entire experience? That's why, with eRacing, we make sure that every time you crash, you have to ride in the tow truck all the way back to the garage.
Man, I don't even know what you were thinking.
Sure, some games have a reset button, but what if you had to look your crew in the eye and tell them they're not going to sleep tonight because of something you did?
As a team owner, what I want to do is have some of the people feel the pressure of what the guys feel behind the scenes when the kids make mistakes out on the track.
Well, thanks a lot, now we're going to be here all night. In case you didn't know, we all know how to weld already.
And the features don't just stop there. eRacing has actually contracted real-life engineers from the world of stock car racing to sports cars and IndyCar who will actually call you on the phone and tell you what you've done wrong.
Yeah, dude, I don't think it's the car.
On a positive note, you're doing awesome on the straights.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe try lifting next time?
You're kind of a long way away from needing any setup work.
Martin didn't seem to have that problem at all.
The cool thing about eRacing is if somebody crashes me out, there'll be an automatic Twitter fight right after.
It is so realistic that if you make a mistake on track, it will automatically contact your father and he will cut your daily allowance.
So I had a crash on eRacing and automatically I got 45 messages on my phone. There's nothing more embarrassing than all of your friends asking if you're okay and you screwed up yourself.
When you make a mistake, they actually have digital Justin Bell jump on you for 20 minutes and not let it go.
I think I was a little bit lazy on his move and not at all emphatic. Lapse in deliberation and concentration, and he goes. He knows that it was probably something to do with him.
Now, for someone like myself, coming from the marketing and the business side of the sport, we've gone to great lengths to make sure this is fully immersive. First, we'll work closely with you to figure out how you can hide just how much you're spending so that your spouse never finds out. Now, if it's maybe just too expensive, eRacing is the only motorsport simulation to offer the walk the paddock feature. You may not necessarily get to get behind the wheel, but you can still be part of the program.
Not happy with your notoriety? We'll start a clothing line, maybe a podcast.
Does a podcast sound like too much work? No problem. Just wait for somebody else and then just copy what they do.
Now you're not an e-racer unless you e-cycle, and we built that right into the game. Thanks to eRacing's downloadable content, if you race for Porsche, we'll automatically tweet 17 times a day about all the e-cycling you've been doing.
And of course, one of the features is being licensed. For example, if you want to drive the eRacing IndyCar, all you really have to do to get approved is know Stefan Johansson.
Simon Wood, you know him?
No, I don't know who that is.
How about John Cantu?
Yeah, he's fine.
If you really want to know about racing, go to eRacing. That is the real world and how we function every day.
Yeah, I can't let you out until the wire transfer clearance. We haven't seen a dime yet.
I appreciate the attention to detail, like in the autograph session when someone sneezes in their hand before reaching out to shake yours.
All the fans walk right past you next to your teammate who was on some dancing show like 15 years ago. My favorite option in eRacing? The one where you can move back with your parents.
When it comes to all the racing simulators out there, eRacing is by far the choice of most pros. It's so realistic that even if you don't qualify for the eRacing 500, they still make you watch it on TV. Every single lap.
When the time comes that you want to quit e-racing, don't worry. All we ask is that you give us an acceptable excuse.
If you can't afford it, not a problem, just blame the BOP.
Simply not good enough? That's okay. Just tell us that you're going to focus on the family business.
Or simply just get arrested. eRacing,
the most authentic motorsport simulator in the world.